Apple's smart home platform has slowly expanded to support a variety of device categories since its launch in 2014. However, one category that has lacked focus is HomeKit humidifiers. But able to fill that gap, the Vocolinc Flowerbud is available. Although Apple lists the Vocolinc Flowerbud as a humidifier, Vocolinc itself markets the device as a diffuser. So continue watching this video to see how the Flowerbud stacks up as a HomeKit humidifier and diffuser in one device. Hi, welcome back. My name is John and this channel is dedicated to everything HomeKit, news, reviews and tutorials. So if you're new around here and you're not already a subscriber, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the bell button to be notified when the next HomeKit videos are available. As with all my reviews, I try to be as transparent as possible. For this review, I purchased this device directly from Amazon myself. However, I've spoken with Vocolinc around several points to complete the review, but to be totally clear, Vocolinc were not given early access to the review and are watching this at the same time as you. You can read more about our review promise and ethics statements in the links in the description below. Starting with the design. Out of the box, the Flowerbud Smart Diffuser is tall and curvy. If I'm honest, the marketing pictures do not do it justice, and it looks better in reality. The device is split into two parts with a base portion and an upper part which resembles a blooming flower. The entire unit stands 10 inches tall, and at its widest at its base, it's 6.5 inches wide, and it's all made of plastic. The base, which acts as a storage for the water, which you can use with or without essential oils, holds up to 30 milliliters of water and features a LED light underneath that acts to illuminate the base and the upper part of the Flowerbud. On the front are two buttons to turn the light on and off and to control the diffuser mist. Underneath the base, you'll find a port to connect the power plug and elevated rubber feet, which makes it easy to feed the cord through and stops it from moving around. Then there's the top portion that sits upon the base, which is used to channel the mist via a small hole at the very top. The top portion is easily placed into position without the need to screw or snap or do anything else to get it into place. When the top part is in place and the Flowerbud is turned on, the light is visible around the base and the upper part. In terms of accessories, the Flowerbud comes with a plastic water jug, and finally you get a 1 meter long cable with the relevant power adapter for your country. Now moving on to setup. Once the base of the Flowerbud is plugged in, then you need to fill the water reservoir to a safe capacity. The water reservoir holds 30 ml of water and features a max fill line to keep you right. If you want to add essential oils, you can do so, but only use 100% natural essential oils, or you might end up damaging it. You then need to download the Vocolinc app called Linkwise from the App Store for your iOS device. Once downloaded, open the app and tap on Add Device. This will bring up the familiar HomeKit screen that lets you scan the HomeKit code. The HomeKit setup process will take you through adding to a room, naming the device, and other setup steps. Once set up, the Flowerbud will be available in the Home app and the Linkwise app for you to control. Now moving on to using the Flowerbud. To operate the Flowerbud, you have the option of using the Linkwise app, the Home app, or the controls on the device itself. For this review, I tested it with both apps and the controls on the unit to fully understand how it all works. First, using it with the physical buttons featured on the base, with one used to operate the mood light and the other for mist control. Pressing the light switch turns the light on and off. If you perform a long press, you can also cycle through some basic colors. Turning to the mist button, which offers a little bit more functionality. At the basic level, it allows you to cycle through the three modes. The first is a very low diffusion mode. Pressing again will give you a higher level of diffusion. Then a third press will turn the diffuser off. Besides operating the mist levels, if you long press on the button, it will cycle through preset timers. These range from 2 hours, 4 hours, and 6 hours. Finally, if you ever need to reset the device, holding these down for around 10 seconds will reset the device to factory settings. You can also perform these functions in Vocolinc's Linkwise app, plus you can do a lot more. So let's take a look at that. To get to the Flowerbud settings in the app, you have to long press on the device icon, although you may need to hunt around for the device if you have lots of HomeKit devices connected. In the control section, I could control the mist levels of the Flowerbud on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest mist setting. I could also customize the light color and levels like with any other smart light. You can also set up weekly schedules and set a timer for the diffuser to turn it on and off with a range of 30 minutes all the way through to 8 hours. Then you have the Moments tab, which gives you more color options by selecting the color wheel or temperature wheel. You can also select from light effects from breathe, blink and flow. These give you different combinations of lights and changing the effects and different intervals, colors and brightness options. I like the flow effect, especially at night, to provide a gentle mood light in my living room. You can also activate schedules on the Flowerbud to turn on and off at certain times, with an option for controlling mist levels and target humidity. Finally, you have a settings tab which you can rename the device, set target humidity and settings related to HomeKit. It's worth noting, because HomeKit treats the Flowerbud as a humidifier, you need to ensure you set the relative humidity level to the appropriate levels in HomeKit and the Linkwise app. For instance, if you've lowered the slider all the way down in the Home app, then operating the Flowerbud within the Linkwise app will simply not work. So moving on to using the Flowerbud in HomeKit and the Home app. Although Apple lists the Vocolinc Flowerbud as a humidifier, Vocolinc itself markets the device as a diffuser, but because the diffuser category does not exist in HomeKit, Vocolinc exposes the Flowerbud as a humidifier. If you force touch on the device towel in the Home app, you'll bring up a humidity and color control bar. For the humidity, it allows you to increase between 0% and 100%, but just be clear, this is not controlling the mist speed coming out of the Flowerbud. Like in the Linkwise app, it's the target humidity for that room. So for example, at one point my living room was 49% according to the Eve degree, so I turned up the Flowerbud's humidifying level to 55, and this turned on the Flowerbud and the mist flowed from the spout. The flow would then continue until it reaches the current relative humidity detected by the Vocolinc Flowerbud. So as long as you keep in mind that this is treated as a humidifier in HomeKit, then it's relatively easy to set up an automation and let it go. I set the Flowerbud to turn on every morning at 8:30 and in the evening at 6:30 to a target humidity of 65% and let it run for 1 hour. The automation allowed the Vocolinc Flowerbud to diffuse and freshen up the room, also leaving the target humidity at 65%, allowing me to turn on the Flowerbud if I wanted to at random times throughout the day. For the light side of things, HomeKit treats the Flowerbud similar to any HomeKit light, so you can use a slider to adjust the brightness of the light or to pick a new color. Vocolinc states that there are 60 million colors to choose from. In my testing, accessory displays a great color range with a nice selection of warm and bright colors. You can also use the lighting automations and scenes like any other HomeKit light. Siri commands would work like any other HomeKit device and could be used with any device that supports Siri. I found that Siri commands would work well, particularly with Siri on HomePod. I had no trouble with Siri understanding my commands for the diffuser, although you must remember to rename the device in the Home app to diffuser for it to respond. So now moving on to performance and what I thought of it. While Vocolinc recommends you place the Flowerbud in a room that measures 30 square meters or less, I found the device more than capable of handling my living room as a diffuser, which is just over 40 square meters. Although Vocolinc does not market this as a diffuser, it did a reasonable job of increasing the humidity levels from 47 to 56 within 1 hour. I also tested this in my HomeKit test room that I normally use for cameras, which is just short of 60 square meters, and it performed well. The device itself is silent, but when you're close enough to it, you hear droplets of water bubbling occasionally if it's turned to max settings. One of the other things I like is the mist does not come out of, neither is the water in the reservoir. Although I didn't expect anything different, it's worth pointing this out that to those that have not used a diffuser before, but it's also useful if you're wanting to place this in a home with small children or inquisitive pets that may knock it over. Vocolinc states that the 30ml water reservoir will last about 8 hours, and for the first time I filled it, it took 5 full days of the water to deplete fully. Each of these days, the Flowerbud ran for about 2 or 3 hours. The only thing that I need to do is top up the essential oils to increase the aroma as desired. So based on my testing, the Flowerbud easily achieves its runtime and more. The other cool feature that I liked, if the water does run out, the Vocolinc Flowerbud will emit a double beep and then shut off. So this will stop it from burning out and damaging the unit. So to conclude this review, when I first considered buying the Vocolinc Flowerbud for this review, I was not sold on the design from the marketing pictures. However, now it's been in my home for a period of time, it fits well next to the TV. I think the design will fit well into any modern home, and it does not feel or look cheap. The fact it's easy to set up is a real plus for this device, and setup being completed in under 10 minutes from opening the box to getting started. This is a genuine test for any device I buy, regardless of whether it's HomeKit or not. Things these days should not require a degree in astrophysics to get started. While the Vocolinc app is not best laid out, and it could do with an update to make it easier to understand, Vocolinc does inform me they plan to deliver an update in Q4 of this year across all of their product range. But the Linkwise app has some pleasant features, like the ability to control the mist flow and speed and colour effects, which the Home app lacks. But if I'm honest, I preferred using the Flowerbud in the Home app and HomeKit. This is down to the simple fact I set it up in an automation, and it was then just on autopilot. While the Vocolinc Flowerbud works well as a diffuser, as a humidifier it does not fare that well. But to be totally fair to Vocolinc, they do market this as diffuser first with humidifier capabilities. So if your primary focus is humidification, then you're better with a dedicated humidifier and a HomeKit smart plug attached. The other option would be to wait until late October for when the Vocolinc MistFlow smart humidifier arrives, which is a fully featured humidifier with diffuser capabilities secondary. The device features a larger water reservoir and covers areas of up to 40 square meters with a longer runtime of around 30 hours. So at the start of this review, I did mention that I bought this myself, and do I plan to keep it? Well, the simple answer is yes. The Flowerbud has performed well and beyond what I expected, and is a device that I will keep in my HomeKit setup. In fact, I've actually ordered a second one for another room in my house where the dog sleeps in order to eliminate some of the odour. The Vocolinc Flowerbud is available for $59.99 in the UK and $49.99 in the US. Across Europe it ranges from $59. You can buy it using the links in the description below from Amazon, which is an affiliate link which helps this channel out at no extra cost to you. So that's a wrap on this review. Hopefully you found it interesting. If you have, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or any comments, leave it in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as it's greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media channels and check out our website, homekitauthority.com. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon.